Welcome to this wonderful webinar. In this webinar, I'm going to share with you what I learned during this pandemic in terms of cybersecurity. I'm going to share what's happening in the world, what you should do, and what you should not. My name is Dr. Erdal Ozkaya. I work at Standard Chartered Bank as the regional CISO, being responsible of North Africa, Middle East, Pakistan, lots of countries. Besides my full-time job as Chief Information Security Officer in the region, in my free time I try to be part of community events such as this one. I try to write some books and certification exams. You can see some of my books here, which you can reach out via Amazon or other retailers. And if you want to be in touch with me after this webinar, you can find me in social media platform. You can feel free to follow me, to interact and ask questions. And the surprise for today is, if you tweet about this session, tag myself, Erdal Ozkaya, and ECMIA, which is the GC media, you can select one of my books as ebook for free for 5 people. So all what you have to do is go to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, one of the social media platforms which I just shared a few seconds ago, tag GC Media, myself, and you will be the winner. As you all know, our world has changed. Nothing is same anymore. Coronavirus unfortunately changed things so bad that we cannot shake hands anymore, we cannot hug each other anymore, we cannot gather together anymore. So, as I said, after pandemic, so many things has changed. The way we live, as I said, we used to shake hands. Now we try to touch elbows, keep social distancing. You will see in the left bottom corner in my image the World Cup final just 4 years ago, where at the moment people in the stadiums are just sending their pictures and they cannot be there. Is this the only thing? No, we have to wear a mask. I mean, for on safety, we better do so. We started to work remotely. Still, lots of companies do work remotely, and they encourage their employees to work remotely. And it looks like it's gonna be a big trend even after COVID. Is this the only thing which has changed? No. As we cannot go out, we started to go to Talabat, Amazon, Uber Eats, more. So the way we start to shop has also changed. Carrefour does free delivery, or you name one of this, Almaya or whatsoever. None of them has sponsored us here, but it's not about this anyway. The way we shop has also changed. Unfortunately, the way we get hacked did change as well. So let's start at looking at the cybersecurity landscape. What has changed and how it has changed? I'm pretty sure you all know the Have I Been Pwned website, which has been written by my great friend Troy Hunt, who also wrote the foreword one of my books called Learn Social Engineering. Based on his website, last year there were roughly 1.5 billion pound accounts, 144 websites. Just based on this morning, we had more than 10 billion, I report, more than 10 billion pound or hacked accounts. This is only and only based on 492 websites. So I'm pretty sure there are many more websites or data which has been leaked, and this information is in someone else's hand yet. Is this all? No. Let's focus in the top 5 cybersecurity threat, which should take your attention. First of all, email is still the biggest entry point. More than 90% of the cyber attacks start with email, says KeepNet Labs. Unfortunately, 40% of the employees cited distraction as the reason for failing for phishing scam while working from home. 2. Rise of ransomware. In other words, which I call it as known as cash collector. For the ones who doesn't know ransomware, ransomware is basically kidnapping your computer, encrypt. I mean, they're not physically kidnapping your computer, but they encrypt your computer. They ask for money to release the decryption key. Otherwise, you're not gonna never ever able to reach your computer anymore. And if you look at the ransomware attacks, unfortunately, the average cost of data breach is close to $4 million. And it went up to 4.4 million very recently. Nearly 6 in 10, which is like 61% companies in Middle East and Africa, which I'm also responsible of, has been infected with ransomware. Number 3, web-based or web application attacks has also increased by 43% compared to last year. Malware attacks. In 2019, last year, there was around 145 million new malware samples, where as of October, we already reached 121 million this year, which it looks like it's gonna overpass 2019 numbers. Again, you can see some numbers based on Trend Micro. The total email threats related to COVID-19 is, 3,818,307. There is more than 15,000 COVID-related malware found. Unfortunately, more than 1 million hits on malicious URL which is based on COVID. What is top 5? Top 5 is, unfortunately, as you can see from this, the rise of social engineering, which is the human hacking. What happened is hackers use different ways to get you convinced that you want an iPhone, or this is the cure for COVID-19, or they find all these different ways to trick us through. So, based on this landscape, what should you do? First of all, you should have proper backup. Please, regardless if you're using cloud service such as Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, or on-prem service such as Windows, Linux, Apple, please back up your computer regularly and ensure it's in a in a secure location as well. At home, please ensure you use at least VPA2, if not VPA3 wireless security. Strengthen your home network defense. Use strong passwords. Please, I repeat, keep your software updated. This includes your mobile, your firmware in your router, your computer, and whatsoever. When it comes to social media, please be extremely cautious. Do not click on anything you see. Verify always the source. Check the privacy and security settings on your phone. You will notice that, unfortunately, even the most privacy friendly phones such as iOS 14 and Apple has actually some section which sends information out to Apple. I don't even talk about Google, how much they don't care about privacy, or they do care about privacy every better and better, but they said it clearly, for example, that they read your emails. I mean, it doesn't mean someone is sitting and reading your emails, but they scan your emails and they give you relevant ads, and this is what Google is strong at. Very openly, so know what you're using. And as I said, please avoid opening and try to delete suspicious emails and attachments, even if it comes from your best friend. Call and ask if they really send it. If they did, double check the URL. If it's asked you to download anything and change your password, don't even look at it, delete it. What about the office? Of course, when it comes to office security, this is much more complicated than what having at home. Everything starts with a proper cybersecurity strategy. You should build or your CISO should build a cybersecurity strategy which has all what I covered for home, but even more. Your security strategy should not be secure as possible, but it should be secure as necessary. You should be having a long-term plan for your security investments. It should touch on user awareness. When I say user awareness, this includes from your IT team to your even security team to your CEO or to cleanup stuff, to critical that works from A to Z, everybody in the organization, and where possible the third parties, your supply chains, again where possible. I highly recommend to have a detailed plan that outlines your security software and hardware with full objectives. You should know what you have. You should know how they've been set it up. You should know what they do and how they do. You should see if any other software or hardware complements or reduces the settings that you have. And as I recommend for your home devices, please regularly update your systems. This includes all your employee devices, even if it's a smart pen, which has a memory and it connects to your smart device such as iPad, Google Chrome or whatsoever. One other important thing is to invest in your talents. Look, training is important. If you don't have money to send them or budget to send them to online training, at least you can just then do some physical training. You can send them to online training, or if not, you can have access to Safari Books online or PAT Library, where they can also read my books, to educate themselves. I highly recommend using multi-factor authentication. I mean, I use it for my work devices. As you can see, I use the Microsoft Authenticator. It requires my face, and even that, I can give you my password for my Microsoft account, for my Google account, for my Twitter account, for my Facebook account, for my work bank account, for my Azure AD account, for my Nerd account, for my Komodo Dragon platform account. But if you don't have this code, you're not going to be able to log in. So please make the hacker's job harder. I also recommend you to monitor your devices, the changes in the devices, the system access, who did access it, when they did access it, what has changed, how it changed. Using encryption is also a very smart idea. As I said, like in home devices, in home security, you should beware of social engineering. This is not something new. I'm pretty sure you heard the name of Kevin Mitnick. How he was able to hack Nortel and other big organizations earlier via just phone calls. Unfortunately, this still is happening. You know, the email that you receive from the Nigerian prince, which offers you $25 million in return of $1,000. So you're going to send that Nigerian prince, which his father died, $1,000, and they're going to give you $25 million. Really? Like, nobody is believing on this anymore. But what about you receive or you Google something and you see that, hey, there is a new vaccine to COVID-19, and if you click here, you'll be one of the first to get it. Will you click on it? Think about it. So, and before you click in the link, would you check the URL if it's legitimate? Let's say you click the URL and it looks legitimate. It's asked you to register, and it's asked you for identification reason to share your government ID, credit card, or whatsoever. Would you do that? Unfortunately, even if not you, many others do. And more importantly, be ready. It's not about if an attack is going to happen, it's about when the attack will happen. So, in other hand, what should you not do? Of course, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you should not click on anything you see. You should not share confidential information, regardless of who they are, online or even in real life. Don't be overconfident. You'll be surprised when the attack is going to hit you. Don't rely just on a solution, on a vendor, on a program, on a setting. Always cross-check. Think like a hacker. Think of how the system can be hacked. Try to look from different angles. If you need to download something, download them from verified resources. Never ever download them from unverified. Like you downloading Windows and you download this from m1so0off.com. Looks like Microsoft, but the I for Microsoft is 1 and the soft's O is 0. Why are you gonna download it from there? Because they sell an iPhone for $3 instead of $3,000? You might wonder why I jumped from Microsoft to iPhone. Just an example. Do not hesitate to separate the duties. Your administrator should not be a normal user. Your normal user should not have access to your domain controller. Your domain account user should not have direct access even to your personal, in your work laptop. I mean, you see what I'm trying to highlight. Try to have a privileged access workstation. Try to create a domain separation in domain accounts. Like create a tier called T0 where your enterprise and domain account sits there. T1 where the rest of your servers and accounts sits there, and T2 where your rest of your user sits. I know it sounds easy to say, but there are lots of vendors, they help you to do so. And please don't be lazy on creating defense on depth. Defense on depth is like you will not keep your phone together with your scissors in a park, right? Let's say you're in a park, you have to leave your phone next to your scissor and quickly go to a shop to buy a water. But you have only one of your hand free. Would you take the scissor with you, or would you take your phone with you? If I were you, I would take the phone with you, right? Even in Dubai, which is a safe haven. But still, it's a good idea to take the extra steps to create your security. What else? I'm gonna recommend you 3 more stuff before I end my sessions that you need to keep in mind. First of all, cybersecurity is not just the CEO's or your CISO's or your CIO's responsibility. It is combined responsibility, and you as Chief Information Security Officer or Chief Information Officer, it's your responsibility to build a cyber culture that everyone in the organization understands cyber risk. Again, only understand, they don't have to resolve it. And contributes on mitigating them. They should be able to easily tell you if there is an issue. It's like raising kids. If you have kids at home and they share secrets from you, probably you don't have a healthy relationship. But if they come and tell you anything and everything about their life, that means there is a trust. And some of them is going to be false positive. You're going to just listen, probably not make sense, but some of them might save your child from danger. 2, you should know the threat actors that can harm you. For that, you have to have a proper cybersecurity strategy with threat intelligence inbuilt. You should also know your weaknesses, because if you know what you're weak at, you can strengthen your defense. Besides that, you have to also know your technology. It's like, you cannot drive a Ferrari in a desert, because Ferrari, at least a normal Ferrari, is not built for a desert. So knowing the threat actors which might harm you, together with your weaknesses and technology, will master your defense. And the other point is, you will need your vendors. You will need your third parties to help you. And please don't forget, you cannot defeat the threats of present with the tools from the past. And finally, cybersecurity is like going to the gym. You cannot get better by watching others. You have got to get there every day, practice and build your body. Otherwise, it's not gonna take you anywhere, says Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. With this, I'm coming to end of my presentation. We had a short time, but I wanted to give you some tips on what to do and not what to do, together with the landscape of cybersecurity with the current state. I hope you enjoyed the session. I'm looking forward for you to tweet, to LinkedIn or whatsoever about the session, where I'm going to share with you a free book based on your choice. I hope you enjoyed the session, and we are really looking forward to see you in the next session. Thank you very much.